For the past 3 decades, a woman named Terry Gonda was the music director at St. John Fisher Catholic Church in Auburn Hills, Michigan. She didn't do it for the money. In fact, she has another full-time job. But she loved the church, partly because they were always there for her. She had a rough breakup a long time ago, and they gave her emotional support. She was gay, but they didn't care. And even after she got married in 2011 to another woman, the people in that church didn't mind. She was part of their family. She's also been a longtime defender of the Catholic Church. Do you know how hard that is to do, especially today? She defended them during the child sex abuse crisis and all the times a church leader said or did something homophobic. She would say the church is still a loving, welcoming place. But earlier this month, someone snitched on her. Someone, she says it's someone outside her congregation, told the Detroit Archdiocese, which oversees her church, that she's in a same-sex marriage. And so this week, they fired her. They said she broke their morality clause. I know, who knew the Catholic Church had a morality clause? And this is when they decide to bring it out? Really? She told the Detroit Free Press, "It's a shot to the head from headquarters. The dehumanization of this is just not right. My heart just hurts because I have an outpouring of love for them. I love them. I believe that they believe they're doing the right thing. They're trying to protect the church." She is way too nice. And my heart genuinely goes out to her. What the church did is so heartless and so cruel and so completely unnecessary. She wasn't causing them problems. Everyone in that church loved her. In fact, her church friends were there to support her on the day she officially got fired. She even tore up a letter offering her a severance package in front of those church friends. There are articles about her firing this week in major newspapers, including the New York Times, and a lot of commenters online are just saying what a horrible decision this was by the Archdiocese. But all that said, why are so many people so surprised by this? Why is Terry Gonda surprised by this? There's a tweet that often comes up. There's even a whole subreddit based on it. I usually see it when Republicans complain about Donald Trump. "I never thought leopards would eat my face," sobs woman who voted for the leopards eating people's faces party. Well, that applies here too. Seriously, what did Terry Gonda think would happen to her? That the Catholic Church would reconsider her firing because of her long-standing service and devotion? After decades of watching the church fail every single morality test, honestly, how gullible do you have to be to think they're suddenly gonna do the right thing when it comes to you? I'm not picking on her, by the way. She seems wonderful, but it's not like this is the first time something like this has happened. The Catholic Church has been firing their own teachers for years for being in same-sex marriages, even though students and parents routinely protest those decisions. It is what the church does. It is an immoral, bigoted institution. It doesn't matter that Pope Francis says, "Who am I to judge?" It doesn't matter that they welcome gay people. But the Catholic Church doesn't make it a secret that if you're in a leadership position and you dare to marry someone of the same gender, they will cut you off. The Catechism of the Catholic Church, their official rule book, says homosexual acts are acts of grave depravity. They are intrinsically disordered. They are contrary to natural law, and under no circumstances can they be approved. They don't just call it a sin. They get super specific about this one action. They say there's something seriously wrong with you if you do that. Being in love, being monogamous, waiting to have sex until you're married, none of that matters if you are gay. The church has been adamant about this. They are as inflexible about these rules as anything else they stand for. People who go to Catholic services or give the church money or proudly call themselves Catholic are promoting those values whether or not they agree with them personally. And I know individual Catholics often disagree. You can just look to Terry Gonda's congregation for proof of that. In fact, according to the Pew Research Center, 61% of Catholics now say they support same-sex marriage. But it doesn't matter, because the church will not budge. One of the parishioners at Terry Gonda's church said the firing was unjust and unchristian. Unjust? Yeah, I agree. Unchristian? Hardly. This is the Catholic Church for you. It doesn't matter if your priest is tolerant and loving. The institution is not. Judge the church by its actions. They have strict purity tests when it comes to same-sex relationships. I know they have historically looked the other way in cases of priests molesting children, but they seem to be laser focused on making sure someone in a same-sex relationship is not working for them. By the way, I saw some chatter online around this story about the Supreme Court. Didn't Neil Gorsuch write an opinion recently saying you can't fire someone for being gay or trans? Well, that doesn't apply to churches. It may not even apply to regular businesses if the owners say they are Catholic. We don't know yet. But the fact is, the church can hire and fire anyone it wants. And they've always had that option. They could be racist if they wanted to. They could be sexist if they wanted to. I mean, they are sexist. There is a no girls allowed rule in the priesthood. But they are definitely anti-married gay people. If church members are upset about Gonda's firing, protesting the decision and complaining about it online and starting a petition to reinstate her is all a waste of their time. You know what would make a real difference? If people who were bothered by her firing left the church. I'm not even saying they should become atheists. I don't care. But they need to find another church in another Christian denomination. And they should take other church members with them. Because they are all morally better than the Catholic Church itself. And the way to fight back against the church is to kick them where it hurts. Right in the pocketbooks. Don't give them money. Don't give them your time. Don't give them any control over you. But instead, like a case of Stockholm Syndrome, what's Terry Gonda doing this weekend? She said she and her wife will go back to the same church on Sunday for services. And they're going to sit in the front row and pray, because that is what good Catholics do. She said she wants to change people's hearts from the inside. Like I said, she is too good for them. They don't deserve her. But the fact that she's returning to the church is precisely why the church will never change. Decent people like her need to stop supporting an institution that promotes bigotry.